Hey all, here we are in Randy's Crumb Shop, and I'm here with Angus.
Hey, how's it going?
This is Angus, who works for Bison. Bison, the big company up in California, up in Canada. I don't even know where I am. Up in Canada.
Up in Canada.
Angus did it the right way. Angus is going to explain to us how he did it. He did all the visas and shit like that, like I've explained before. So, guys, please watch this and listen to this video. Don't send me messages about coming over here. I can't help you out. It's very, very difficult to get a green card for America, and I keep repeatedly telling you this, but I'm still getting messages of people saying, oh, we've been on holiday to America, we want to come out and drive a truck. You can't. You're better off going to Canada, and you can do the visas and everything yourself. Everything is online to sort out. You don't have to be a solicitor or a barrister or whatever to do it. We did all ours in the UK into America as well, so you know, you don't have to pay expenses and stuff like that, but there is a few little key things you must know and learn. So what are they?
Okay, so right, so like you say, US is impossible.
Yeah.
Canada's slightly less impossible.
Yeah.
It's doable. So we in Manitoba, it's all provincial, so it depends which province you choose. Manitoba is the route I went down. We live near Winnipeg. You find a big company like
that is where the majority of the big companies are, over that side.
There are smaller companies that offer the same kind of thing, the mum and pop operation kind of things.
Yeah.
And I chose Bison because they're big, they've got a good safety policy, the training's good, and I thought as a newcomer that would be good for me to have the support. So, I must say, I have recommended you do go with one of the big companies.
They will sort out a lot of the headache and stuff like that. Remember, you will be tied into a 2-year contract though. They want a little bit of money back, so for what they've actually done.
Yes,
so
you've got to run and earn them some money, right? So,
yeah.
So I went in with them on the Manitoba nominee program, provincial nominee program. I got a job offer from Bison. I then went and approached MPMP, did an application with them, submitted my offer of employment from Bison. Then they nominate you to Canada for a work permit and eventually for PR. So that's kind of a summary of.
And how much do you have to pay for this privilege?
It's free up until the point of the work permit, which is, I think it's about $150. So about £110.
So there you go. So before you know, you start digging your hand into your pocket. I know there's a company down in Texas, people, I tried to get hold of them and email them, telling them they can get UK drivers green cards and everything. Bollocks. You know, yeah. And they want thousands of pounds. You can send me thousands of pounds if you like. I'll bullshit you and tell you I'll get you a green card. I can do pretty much of that, but you aren't going to get one.
If something sounds easy and too good to be true, that's because it
don't part with your money for these guys, please don't. They won't reply to my emails or anything, so you know, there's one in Texas and there's one somewhere else in the UK. Forget it.
The other thing with Canada as well is there are companies out there that will charge you up to £15,000 in the UK to do what you can do yourself.
Yeah.
It's a massive pain in the arse. It's lots of paperwork, it's lots of headache. My laptop nearly got posted through the window at 50 miles an hour on several occasions because you are dealing with immigration. They tend to be slow with stuff.
It's the same over here.
But you've just got to have that bottle of Jack Daniels nearby, so when it all gets too much, you can drown your sorrows and try again the next day.
You've got to stick with it, guys. You really have. If you want to come over here, it's not just... I get people asking me questions, do I have to take my test again? Now, if you send me a message saying, do you have to take your test again? I am not going to answer to you at all, because I know for a fact you have no intentions of coming over here and working. Because if that's the first hurdle you're going to stumble over, thinking you have to do your test again, well, sorry, you aren't going to do it. It definitely isn't for everybody either. The weather out here is extremely harsh in winter, especially up in Canada. You know, you will sling chains. You will sling them snow chains at some point. Or you can just sit on top of the mountain, but you won't last very long doing that, that's for sure.
It gets difficult sometimes, and it's pointless crying because your tears will freeze. And that hurts even more. So, and we've been there, it does get there when you're new and you're trying to work out how everything's done, and it's hard.
It gets easier. It does get easier.
Yeah, and then they send you down to Florida and you're like, hey, it's summer again. And now I've got to go back north. And I think it's minus 22 at the moment in Winnipeg.
Minus 22.
Plus wind chill.
I'm hanging out down Florida for a few days.
Yeah, you bastard.
I've got a bit to do down here. I've got a few pickups and shit like that with my backload and stuff. So I'm hanging out round the top of the Keys and then round Orlando and what have you. So What else have we got to cover? The money won't be brilliant. These big companies will not be brilliant for the first 2 years, but there's one I just wanted to say. Do remember, you don't have to stay with them after the 2 years, or you can cut out, can't you?
Yes.
Yeah, and pay the premium.
You pay them, right? So, and I get loads and loads of messages of people asking, as I guess you do, you know, how does it work? How much money am I going to earn? You're not coming. If you're basing it on that, you're not coming, because you can earn more money driving through a supermarket in the UK home every night. That is the honest opinion of what I'm on. But I'm not going into my finances too deeply, but I am supporting a family of 3 just on my wage at the moment. Yeah. It's tight, but it's doable.
You've got to be very frugal with the money, I think, and you've got to you must have a partner that's willing to support and go that extra mile and stuff like that.
If you're persuading your wife, or it's the other way around, you're persuading your husband, and you're constantly digging it, that's not going to work. Yeah. It will only work if you're both up for it.
You've got to be a team, basically.
You know, just dive in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do another more in-depth video about the application process I've been through, and I can only say what I've done. I'm not, I'm not an immigration consultant.
So check out Angus's YouTube. What's your YouTube?
I'm Trucker Goose.
Trucker Goose. Heard it here. And if you need any information, I'm sure he'll be willing to help you out. But don't just bullshit. If you, like I say, you know, we don't have that much time, and we're doing this for now and stuff, you know. So if you do have some serious questions, and you are serious about coming out here, fire him some questions. I'm sure he'll be willing to help you.
I did 8 years of research.
8 years.
So sometimes it's a little frustrating when people kind of ask questions that are like kind of questions to ask at the end of everything. So yeah, so what I tend to do, instead of, I find that I message a lot of people back and I don't even get a reply, which I try to be in depth with my answers, and that's really frustrating as well, because I've taken my time to reply to that. So what I've kind of started doing, if people have questions, I try to make a video. And everyone can see it. So yeah, check out the other videos.
Yeah, that's right. Don't put private messages. If you want to ask questions, put it on the wall of either my Facebook or Angus's Facebook or something like that. Do not do private messages. Put it on the wall, then everybody else can see it, and you can answer like one person. You can answer 20 people in that one person, if you know what I mean. Peoples and stuff like that, which makes it a lot easier for all of us and stuff like that. It is a dream to come out of here if you do if this is what you want. It's not for everybody. It really isn't for everybody, but you know, and a lot of my work is quite different. You know, I do get away with murder at Anchor Trucking. I've been extremely well looked after and stuff like that. Not all of them are like that, but just repeatedly saying again, if you do go on for a big company like Bison here, you've only got a 2-year contract. You can get out, go for a smaller company, buy your own. It gets your foot in the door, and then, you know, after you can roll over your citizenship. You can get your citizenship after 5, can't you?
You can, yeah, 5 or 6 years. The other thing I'll say as well is the experience you have in the UK. I've 13 years experience. I was a driver trainer, I've been a CPC instructor, I've driven tankers, I've driven flatbeds, I've done Europe. It means absolutely squat over here. You've got to be prepared to. What is it they call?
Multitasker, but not out here.
Master and on. Jack of all trades. But yeah, I've done that because I get bored with stuff, so I like to do different stuff. But yeah, that means nothing out here. You've got to be prepared to learn it all again, and especially working for these guys. Awesome company, but you've got to do it their way. They're not interested in people that want to do it their own way. It's how they operate. They've got years of experience. They know how they want stuff doing and how it works for them. So hey, they're paying me, I'll drive how they want me to drive.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant advice, is that. So yeah, remember, don't come out and say, oh, they want it this way, you've heard it already. That's the way they do it. That's the way, you know, they've done it for years, and the company's working. The company's working for them like that. They get a lot of student drivers because they've got 2,000, how many? 2,000?
It's between 1,500 and 2,000.
1,500 and 2,000.
We're expanding, I think we're 50% expansion over the next 2 years.
It's a big old company, you know, that is a hell of a lot. So they go through a lot of drivers, like everywhere throughout the world. So this is the way they work, and that's the way they want it to work. I would not be any good working at that company at all. Nope. It'd be an absolute waste of time. I couldn't do it. But but back in mind, just remember, it's only a 2-year contract, or you can pay yourself out after a year or something like that.
Yeah. Well, you might like it. We've got guys that've been here for years. I mean,
benefits are good. Remember, up in Canada,
benefits are great. Great health coverage to top up
That for your family as well?
Healthcare, yeah. So we get healthcare in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they top
Unlike
it up,
me.
so we get dental and all sorts of stuff, all the good stuff. So, but yeah, it's different. It's completely different. It's not comparable to the UK. The other thing is people asking how much groceries cost, how much gas costs.
Yeah.
It's relative.
It is.
You know, groceries are really expensive in Canada, but fuel's cheap. So
yeah, it swings and roundabouts.
Yeah.
Your heating's cheap, like in America. Our heating's cheap,
Yeah.
and fuel's cheap, where your groceries are a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's just a different number, different figure. So don't think I'm getting X amount. That won't do it until you work out what your expenses are and your living expenses and stuff like that.
exactly.
There we are. Thank you very much,
Yes,
mate.
all right.
Catch you all
Have a
later,
good one.
guys. Cheers.
Bye.